I think you make a really good point, though, Jim, that anyone who is on board that train is not calling this a minor derailment.
Imagine being on a city train and having ram into a train directly in front of it. Then imagine being on another train and this one jumps off the rail and is stuck high above the ground and you're wondering what the hell happened. To hear the MTA tell it, it's a non-issue because nobody got hurt, and where there were injuries, they were minor. Imagine that. You weren't even on the train, didn't see or witness what occurred, but you get to hold a full press conference and tell the city all is well because injuries were minor, nobody died, and you're looking into it. I suggest you look again and hold the mirror up to yourself when you do, because ain't no way in the hell you can have a disabled train on the tracks for 30 minutes or more, have an oncoming train slam into it, and not be held accountable for it. And for you to get up there and talk about, thank God the train was moving slow, raises suspicion as to whether you know anything about trains at all. Because one car weighing tons is sufficient to cause extensive injury and damage, and you had 10 cars slam into a disabled one. And while addressing the issue, you spoke of vandalism and how pulling the emergency brakes caused the disabled train to sit in the tracks. Well, maybe you should have vandalized your own trains and destabilized the incoming train, because the vandalism you speak of is something you should have done by pulling the emergency brake so the collision would not have occurred. So my question is, why didn't you do it? You had 4 emergency brakes released on that train through vandalism, and each brake takes 5 to 10 minutes to reset. And that's according to your own information. So it took you 15 to 30 minutes to reset 3 of those brakes, which you said you were able to do. But the 4th brake, you weren't able to reset. And assuming you tried beyond the 5 to 10 minutes it normally takes, for more than 30 minutes, that train sat in the tracks. Let's say it was only 15 minutes and you discovered you couldn't reset the 4th brake. Trains run 5 to 10 minutes, do they not? And on a good day, even faster. So what the hell were you thinking when failing to give notice you had a disabled train ahead of them? What stopped you from communicating to command to notify the conductor on the train to pull the brakes and halt the train? If you're a New Yorker who rides these trains, you are acutely aware of communication being given to the conductor where they advise over the speakers, last stop, everybody off the train. This train is out of service, and put you off the train right then and there. And you have to wait for another train. He didn't decide that on his own. He was given a directive from command center to do that. So the ability exists to communicate to conductors on the train. So what happened? Since no advisory or directive was given, resulting in one train colliding into another. If you are on that train and taken from the scene to the hospital, regardless to the injury, I strongly recommend you see an attorney. For while they minimize the injuries and the impact of that collision, one thing is true. They were negligent in communicating the impending collision. And for that, they can and should be held accountable. You betrayed the public's trust in you for their security and safety while riding your trains, and they shouldn't be made to brush that off with no consequences.